What's going on, guys? Legacy here, excited to bring you guys a spicy deck profile. Today we'll be talking my Survival Zen trap/control Dino, and I really like this deck. Most people see Dinos as a blind going second slash OTK deck, or a combo deck going first with Scrap Raptor, but this deck really aims to, it can go first or second, but it aims to go first, resolve Survival Zen, control the duel with traps, and OTK on turn 3. And Survival Zen is a busted card. We'll get into that later, but I like this variant because ever since the recent ban list where Miscellaneousaurus was hit 2-1, I feel like most Dino variants are just all in on that one Miscellaneousaurus. It's just, if that gets negated, you can't really build a board, and if your board gets broken, then you don't have any follow-up because you only have one miss. So I like this variant because it aims to make Survival's End live, and Survival's End is insane because it's a disruption as well as it gets you into your engine, into your Oviraptor UCT. So that being said, let's get into the deck profile. I will kind of go over each card if you're not familiar with the archetype, and I'll explain my ratios as we go along. So starting with the main deck. Main deck is 40 cards. With the monsters, for the boss monsters, I play 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and 1 Dino Wrestler Pankratops. So UCT is an insane card. If you don't know what it does, it can attack all your opponent's monsters once. If it attacks a defense position monster, you can destroy it and burn your opponent for 1k. And then it even has a disruption effect. Insane boss monster. I play 2 because 3 is too bricky. I don't really want to see it in my hand in this build. But I play 2 because the 1 is oftentimes not enough. I need the second one a lot to close out games and OTK the opponent. So 2 is the perfect ratio in my opinion. And the 1 Pankratops, because we're playing Dinos, great summon second card as you guys probably know. And you can summon it with the Petite straight out of the deck. Or you can search it off Oviraptor. So great include in this deck. For the Dino engine, I play 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor, 1 Miscellaneousaurus. So this is pretty standard. 3 Oviraptor is basically the Stratos of the deck. You can, on normal summon, you can search a Dino or you can dump a Dino to the graveyard. So you play 3 obviously. And then the 1 Miscellaneousaurus, I'd play 3 if it wasn't limited. But what Miscellaneousaurus does is basically you can use it as a hand trap to discard it to the grave to make all of your Dinos unaffected by your opponent's card effects. And you can also banish it from the grave and any other number of Dinos to summon a Dino from your deck whose level is equal to the number of Dinos you banish. So great protection, great extender, great follow-up. Obviously the hit to 1 I think really impacted the deck a lot, took a lot of the follow-up away. As I said, you play the 1, it's a really good card. For the smaller Dinos, I play 2 Baby and 1 Petite. These are your combo extenders, I would say. You're trying to pop this off the Oviraptor or use your Survival's End to pop these. And when these are destroyed by card effect, Baby can summon 1 level 4 or under Dino from your deck, and Petite can summon 1 level 4 or higher Dino from your deck. So I play 3 because these aren't bad to see in your hand because of some other cards that I'm playing. I'm still playing Animadorn and some other trap cards that I'm playing. But I don't want to play 3 Baby because it's not really a combo variant. I play these 3 because I need enough targets for Survival End in the deck. So I feel 2 Baby and 1 Petite gives you enough targets. Sometimes you're resolving Survival End on 2 normal monsters, so you can pop 2. I think 3 of these, or 2 Baby and 1 Petite, is a perfect ratio for this deck. For the 1-ofs that enable the Dino combo, I play 1 Giant Rex, 1 Animadorn Archosaur. I don't know what these do. Giant Rex, if it's banished, and this deck likes banishing Dinos, you can summon it back to your field. And Animadorn, when it's normal or special summon, you can pop a Dino from your field or hand, and then you can add a double evolution pill from your deck to your hand. So these are just combo enablers. They're used in the standard Dino combo, where basically Oviraptor plus Baby, or Miss plus Baby, or Animadorn plus Baby, or Lost World Oviraptor gets you a UCT, a rank 4, and a link 2. I keep these in 1-ofs. The Giant Rex is kind of a brick. The Animadorn is not really a brick if you open the Baby. But I keep these to keep the ceiling of the deck high because you need these to do your main combo. This is a great pickup because I got it from the tins, but this has recently been reprinted. And I'm more of a budget player, but this card is much more accessible. So great that it was reprinted, but again, I keep these two in for the combo. For the last Dino monster I play one Sabersaurus. This again is the rationale behind this deck is you're always trying to have your Survival's End to be live. So this is always a target for Survival's End. You can Fossil Dig it. And then if you just have Fossil Dig and Survival's End in your hand, oftentimes I'm searching this because your Survival's End is a disruption plus you getting into your Oviraptor combo. Other applications, you can actually protect it off Lost World because it's essentially a 2400 attack beater with a Lost World. So you can protect it from being destroyed, pop a baby, get into your engine that way. So this and Lost World is actually a pretty solid combination. But we're playing the one again just for more targets for your Survival's End. For the rest of the monsters I play, or the hand traps, I play the Gamma package with 3 Gamma and 1 Driver. And Gamma and Driver, or the Gamma package is really good in Dinos in general because of your Miscellaneousaurus. If you discard Miscellaneousaurus, your opponent ashes the graveyard effect, and then you can resolve this on their ash, then you basically win the game. But it's especially good in this deck because Driver is actually a normal monster. So you can pop Driver using your Survival's End and actually get into your engine that way. So if you have Gamma and a bunch of traps, you can actually just set all your traps, use your Gamma on your opponent's turn, and then use your Survival's End on the Driver to get into your engine. So especially good in this deck. Going on to the spells, for the Dino support spells, I play 3 Lost World, 1 Terraforming, so 4 Lost World basically, and 3 Fossil Dig. So 3 and 3, these are the best spells in the deck. Fossil Dig is a non-once per turn searcher for a level 6 or lower Dino, so great consistency. And Lost World, if you don't know what it does, it basically, whenever you summon a Dino, you can summon a token on your opponent's side of the field, which is a normal monster, and that's basically another way to get into your Survival's End engine in this deck. So really good in Dinos, enables like the Lost World, Oviraptor combo, playing 3, pretty self-explanatory. For the 1-of spells, I play the 1 Devil Evolution Pill for the Search off Archosaur, the 1 Cosmic Cyclone, and the 1 Called by the Grave. So the pill, what pill basically does, if you don't know what it does, you can banish 1 Dino and non-Dino from your hand / graveyard and summon a level 7 or higher Dino from your deck, which is all the boss monsters. So you search this off the Animadorn. You don't really want to draw it, it's kind of a break in your hand, but with some hands you can kind of make it work if you have Gamma. Play the 1 pill to basically enable the combo. And then 1 Cosmic Cyclone. I like running a Mine Out in all of my decks. 1 Called By because it's a busted card. Stops hand traps. It functions as like a pseudo trap if you're going first and you don't actually use it. Really good card. So onto the interesting part of the deck. We play 3 Survival's End for traps. So Survival's End, a lot of people don't know what it does, so I'll explain this. So it basically reads that you can destroy as many normal monsters on the field as possible. If you do special summon level 4 or lower Dino monsters from your deck up to the number destroyed, but you destroy them during the end phase, which is not really a problem because you're usually summoning baby off this. And it has a graveyard effect where you can banish this and target 1 Dino you control, 1 card your opponent controls, and then you can destroy both of them. And this deck, or this card, is basically the reason I play this deck. It's really strong because we're trying to resolve this as much as possible. So any normal monster plus this card, you resolve this card, you pop the normal monster, you summon a baby from your deck, and then you use the graveyard effect to target a card your opponent controls and the baby, pop both of them, baby effect activates, and then you get into your Oviraptor, which gets you into your engine. This card is really strong if you resolve it, and again, this deck is based around this card. I talk a lot about how we want to play like more normal monsters. I play 2 Morella and 1 Lost Wind. So this, in theory, this package is a 1 card normal monster plus a Lost Wind. So if you set Morella, activate it, pitch your Lost Wind, set your Lost, and then you can activate your Lost Wind and then summon your Morella. So in theory, it's a 1 card normal monster. It is kind of slow. I've been playtesting it, but when it works, it's really powerful because it's a 1 card normal monster plus a Lost Wind. But you can also just send Survival Zen if you need something faster. This package I play it just because it's 1 normal monster and 2 Morella instead of 3, just to make it a trap trick target, because I'm playing trap trick. And for the other traps, I played 2 Torrential Tribute and 2 Trap Trick that I was talking about before. Torrential Tribute is really good in this deck because obviously it's a very powerful trap. Controls the game, often a +3 or +4 if you use it right. But we play Baby Ceratosaurus, and oftentimes if you open up Baby Ceratosaurus and Torrential, that gets you into your engine as well as a huge disruption on your opponent's turn. So great card, and 2 Trap Trick. So we're playing 5 copies of Survival Zen and 4 copies of Torrential. Just a searcher, banish a trap, set a trap. And for the last traps, I play 3 Solemn Strike. Strike is really good going first or second. As I said, this deck can go first or second, partially with the traps because I'm playing Torrential Strike, which is pretty much a board breaker in most circumstances, because you can activate your trap that breaks your opponent's board, whether it's Survival Zen or Torrential, and then you Solemn Strike their monster negate, and they can't respond to that. So pretty self-explanatory 3-0. That's it for the 40 card main deck. Going into the extra deck, starting with what you need, 1 Dolka, 1 Lagia, 1 Gardena, and 1 Linkuriboh. Dolka is 2 monster negates. Lagia is a summon negate or a spell and trap negate, and these 2 are necessary for your Archosaur combo. So you have to play these. Now, why I'm going over necessary and flex spots is that I think the pots, Extravagance, Prosperity are really good in this deck, but I'm more of a budget player. I don't have access to those. So if you're playing, I think Extravagance is better, but obviously Prosperity is really good too. I would reconfigure my extra deck to include multiple copies of these and also the Pentastag, as well as some flex spots. But these are the ones you really need. But Prosperity, again, I'd keep this if you're playing Prosperity, but for the pots in general, I'd actually cut the Paleozoic package, probably for 3 pots. The rest of the extra deck, I play 1 Pentastag, and then a rank 4 engine, which are all flex spots pretty much. The Pentastag is for OTKs, and then I played Tornado Dragon for spell and track removal, Abyss Dweller to shut your opponent down, and this is just kind of random. This should be Dugares, the Dugares Timeless for OTKs, but again, I don't have access to the cards, so I just slotted this in. For the other flex spots, there are a bunch of flex spots in this extra deck. You only really need those 5 that I said. Playing Omega because I played the Gamma package. Phoenix and Unicorn because they're generic, good stuff. And 1 Stardust Dragon because I'm playing a Starlight Road, or 3 Starlight Road in the side deck. So these are all pretty self-explanatory, pretty generic staples. Play the 1 Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon Gustav Max because sometimes you have 2 UCT and then you can game your opponent with the 2K off of this, which is it's a game ender. And I play the a small Shadal package because I side deck Shadal Fusion and Dragon and Aerial, and I side deck that. And again, these are mostly flex spots, but I really like the Shadal package because, as I was saying before, you can kind of turn this deck into a pure like Dino OTK deck with the Animadorned and the Pill on the side and the rest of your going second cards. So I think these are really strong when you side them in and you go second. But yeah, most of these are just flex spots. What I change about this extra deck, again, I told you I'm kind of a budget player. You've got a bunch of deck spots, but I'd play the Dugares over this, and then I'd play a Lambda or an Artifact Dagda, like a solid Link 2 to go off of in the main combo. I don't have access to either of those, but I definitely grab those as well. And then if you're playing, I think Extravagance is the best card or the best pot for this deck. I'd reconfigure this extra deck. I'd probably put in 2 or 3 of all the essentials, and then the Dugares and the good Link 2. But yeah, that's the deck profile. The combo I was saying before, when you resolve Survival Zen, you can either resolve it through the Gamma package, you can resolve it through a Lost World plus a Dino, or you can resolve it off the 1 Sabersaurus that I have, or the Paleozoic Morella plus Lost One combo. So you've got 4 different ways to get into Survival Zen in this deck. I'd also side deck Nibiru for the Nibiru token. But what you're trying to do is any normal monster. Let's say we have the Gamma package and Survival Zen, so 2-card combo. Let's say you set your 5 back row, set your Survival Zen, and you pass to your opponent. And then when you use your Gamma to negate your opponent's monster effect, you can Survival Zen on any normal monster, which is the driver in this case. Pop the driver to summon a baby Stegosaurus. And then use your Survival Zen as disruption, banish it from the grave, to pop the baby. And then summon an Oviraptor to get into your engine. Or alternatively, if you need to survive, you can summon a Petite off the pop, and then you can summon the Pancratops off the Petite for two pops with 2 cards, and plus the Gamma. So Gamma and 4 traps is actually a pretty good hand in this match, in this deck. So hopefully you can see kind of the power of Survival Zen, because off this Oviraptor search, assuming we go this route, and the Gamma's banished, so your Oviraptor gets destroyed. If you search another Oviraptor, you can normal summon it next turn, search a UCT. You have your baby and your OV in the grave, and then that gets you your UCT. So really strong engine, and I think this deck will be extremely good in the just going forward because of how many token effects there are going to be going forward. For example, like Sword Soul and the Brave token package. Basically, if you can actually resolve Survival Zen on your opponent's token as a disruption, plus get into that engine that I just showed, that's extremely strong. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing this deck going forward. And again, changes I would make, the extra deck changes. I'm more of a budget player, don't have those cards, and the pots. I think Extravagance is better. You need to reconfigure the extra deck a little bit, but you can also play Prosperity. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.